Hi, and thank you for joining us today on Become Involved. This is a series that focuses on the committees and boards that are here in the town of Merrimack. I am Barbara Healy, one of your town councilors, and with me today I have the co-chairs of the Heritage Commission. And to my right, I have Ralph Gruntz and Chip Pollard, who will be talking to us today about what happens on the Heritage Commission. So gentlemen, thank you for being here.
Glad to be here.
So guys, tell us about the Heritage Commission and what does it take to be a member on the commission? Do you need any special training? Do you have to have a degree in history? What do you need to do?
The Heritage Commission was established by the town of Merrimack, and its purpose is to preserve the town's historic resources for future generations. And what do? Right now we have 3 full-time members, and we have our town council member, which, thank goodness, is you.
Thank you.
We do have room for 2 more full-time positions and 3 part-time positions. 3 alternates, that is.
Okay.
And what does it take to be on there? Just a love of your town's history and your love of trying to preserve things. Would you like me to talk, or you want to talk about what we were actively doing at this time?
I think that would be great because, people say, well, it's a Heritage Commission. So yeah, you're interested in the history, but what are some of the projects you guys are working on right now?
So just to give you a quick insight to what we're all about and what we're doing at this time. So a couple main things if people out there want to find out what's available locally. There are 4 brochures. So Merrimack is divided into 4 villages. And the villages are South Merrimack, Thornton's Ferry Village, Sauhegan Village, and Reed's Ferry Village. So these brochures basically detail each village and all the historic homes, all the history of the homes. They're very insightful as to what's really right here in the town, and people can drive by and see these things. And these brochures are available at the town hall, at the library, they're at the Historical Society, and they're also available on the town's website.
Okay.
Along with that, we've had members there cleaning graveyard markers. They've done over 200 of them last year. Very busy, improving the graveyards in case anyone wants to visit historic graveyards. Also, we're trying to identify all the historic places in town. And by doing that, we have 12 old schoolhouses, we have 5 old fire stations, we have old Class 6 roads, which, historic villagers used to travel on these roads. So people don't really know where they are. We're now trying to create signs so we can identify all these places throughout the town. So soon you'll be able to drive through the town, you'll see these markers all around, and you'll know exactly what's there.
Great.
That was one of the fun activities that we had, is walking those old Class 6 roads.
Well, I know you guys have talked about, the old King's Highway and, how you guys were walking that to actually determine where is it and where does it still go? Where does it still run?
Yeah.
So
that's one of the difficult things.
Yeah.
There's been so much construction and change in the terrain that we lose track of it. But
yeah.
And it takes sometimes it takes a lot of searching of the deeds to find out where those easements are and where the roads go. And that's one skill that we like to have someone have.
Right.
Someone who's good at that. That's
Researching all of that.
Yes, researching.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything takes a lot of time because you have to dig through the records. And there is some things available online, but technically kind of ends in 1970. Before that, you need to go to the towns, the state, to find more records from way back.
So that's just because they haven't digitalized them
Yes.
as yet online. Wow.
Absolutely. But we're also out there, we're identifying, original stone walls, old barns, and even, if people can believe it, they're called champion trees. You see a huge tree. These trees are actually categorized with the state. they're very important to the history. They could be 200, 300, 400 years old. So
the state actually tracks all of these historic old trees throughout the state and in the different towns and whatnot. Yeah. And don't we have one or two here in Merrimack as well?
We do, yep. Yeah, there's one right there on Sevens Bridge Road. Two on Sevens Bridge Road.
Wow.
A sycamore and I believe it's a yellow pine. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
and I had one on my front yard.
You had.
You did?
Yes, it was a northern white ash. It was 160 years old.
Oh my
we
gosh.
counted the rings on it, and
Yeah.
it came down.
Ah.
And we had to take it down. Yeah.
Yeah, the sycamore's pretty impressive. It was, speaking with the people who lived there a long time ago, it was planted to celebrate Christopher Columbus's 300th anniversary of landing in America.
Wow.
And it was a 14-year-old tree that was planted at that time, so it's making it, quick off the top of my head, at least 250 years old.
Wow.
And it's a massive tree.
Oh, I bet. I bet. Great.
So it's very interesting. But, you know, we work hand in hand. So obviously the Heritage Commission is part of Merrimack, the town.
Mm-hmm.
But the Historical Society is also, it's its own separate identity,
Right.
separate place. But we do work hand in hand with them to, you know, establish things that need help with the town.
Yep.
Pretty much so we're trying to prevent future loss of historical structures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. Anyway, so that's why we're trying to work with the planning board to, you know, make sure we know what's going on in the town to avert any loss of
Right.
something historic.
Yep. Great. Yeah, because I know some people have really mourned the loss of the brick building that came down last year out on the Daniel Webster up here in the Reed's Ferry area.
Right.
So, okay. So what other projects are you all working on there on the commission?
Well, one of those projects, the critical ones right now is protecting a graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that is gets difficult. You have to dig the evidence, and we have the Historical Society help us with that. You know, just where does the location of the graveyard so that it isn't covered up or bulldozed in
Right.
the process of construction. That's one of them. Another one, I got a call from someone who recently bought a historical house, and he wanted to know what he should do to maintain its status. You know, can he do it? And it's mostly convincing him that he should do it. There's no historic center.
Right.
Yeah, none that. So he's going to focus in on the inside. You know, I invited him to see my barn and some other people who have done that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I imagine it's maybe when you first buy a house, it's important to make sure the structure is sound, you know, and the foundation is sound. And then once you fix that, then you can kind of go inside and begin to work other issues.
Yes. Yeah.
So interesting. So, okay. So now that you've helped us understand some of the things and projects that the Historical Commission is doing, so what do you think is the most important thing that you've worked on for the last year? Because we have a bunch of projects.
We have a lot of projects, that's for sure. Actually, one that my thought on what was very important last year, we had 3 people from our committee that worked on the 275th anniversary
That's right.
committee for the town, which was last year. And with COVID, we didn't meet as often last year, but we felt that was a very important thing to celebrate. I mean, 275 years as a town
Yeah,
is amazing.
it is.
So we put a lot of resources and time into that, and felt very good. The town did a great job with it, especially, you know, our rec director, Matt.
Right.
Amazing
Matt
job.
Kasparius, yes. Yes, that was a fun project, including the cookbook. So, okay. So, gentlemen, do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, we're looking
we
for
haven't
members.
covered?
We're looking for members.
Always looking for members.
Because we only have 3 full-time members. You know, we need to have a quorum, and it gets difficult. You know, with the COVID and other things that interfere with it. So, could use a couple.
Yeah.
Okay.
We ask anyone who'd like to join us just to reach out.
Yeah, and we're fun guys too.
They are fun guys. They are. I can attest to that. Okay. So thank you, Chip, thank you, Ralph, for joining me today to talk about this particular series, Become Involved. Again, a series that focuses on the boards and committees that take place here in the town of Merrimack. And if you want to learn more about some of these boards and committees, just go to the town website, merrimacknh.gov, and you can also become involved.